Saints quarterback Spencer Rattler discusses performance versus Jags, overcoming interception, and strong finish. Ladies and gentlemen, fair and balanced. Okay, we're going to listen to Spencer Rattler post-game after the most thrilling tie this side of Men's Warehouse.
How'd that feel?
Yeah, it was a fun one. Thought we could have finished a little better in the red zone. Throughout that second half, feel like we shot ourselves in the foot. Should have had multiple scores, I thought, down there. But I thought we moved the ball well. Receivers stepped up, made big plays, starting with Tipton. Obviously, he flashed big time today.
Yeah, Mason Tipton had a huge game. And sometimes in preseason, performances are so strong that you are forced to find ways to get them the ball or get them on the roster. Players for the Saints have been like that, including Mason Tipton, Stallbird, Jalen Ford, Danny Stutzman, where you don't have a choice. Jonas Sanker. Their performances are so strong, even if it's against second string, third string, fourth string, whatever, you have to get them on the field. And Mason Tipton, at this point in his career, is a training camp preseason warrior, but for a team that's trying to find wide receiver depth, right now, you almost have to play him. You almost have to have Mason Tipton behind Rashid Shaheed and Chris Olave as your wide receiver 3.
Pettis made some great plays. I thought the O-line played really well. We didn't take many sacks, if any, in the second half. A lot of guys made plays.
Spencer was good about that, especially, man, there was a couple of plays with like free rushers and, just blitzers, and whether it was Spencer standing in there or him kind of moving around and buying that extra second. Some of the offensive line, Banks was good. Ruiz has really struggled this preseason. We'll see. We'll see what happens. He might just be one of those guys where he's better with McCoy out there, and he may need, McCoy next to him. I don't know, but and then Penning's hurt, obviously. But Fuaga, he's had ups and downs, but I'm okay with Tulise Fuaga. I think we know what we're going to get there. But the O-line play hasn't been fantastic. Certainly not when we go to, we start rotating in the second, third string. So a little bit to be left desired there, but it is preseason. And same thing as last year. A lot of this, when McCoy went down, the offensive line was discombobulated. There was a lot of miscommunication, a lot of penalties. There is something to the guy, in this case Eric McCoy, who's telling everyone else what to do. And when he's not there, and all of a sudden you see miscommunication, it's like, well, there's probably an easy answer for that. So I need to see it with McCoy before I'm ready to say, we have a problem on the offensive line.
Play calls and play fast. We just got to finish more.
Do you feel like you had more sort of maybe downfield?
Speaking of the red zone, I thought his throw to Dante Pettis, the back shoulder, I thought it was fine. I thought it was a good throw. I saw people saying like he needed more touch in the ball. I thought that was fantastic. Pettis has to get back on the route. You can't just put your arm out there. Like you have to hit your stop and come back. Like that's part of the route. So I thought Rattler threw it where only Pettis could get to it. I saw no problem with that throw. The interception to Tipton in real time, I thought it was just got jumped. The pass just got jumped, whatever. But Mason Tipton came out and said that was on him, that he should have ran through the route, and he took blame for that interception. So I'll take his word for it.
Or let's just say big play opportunities this week than maybe what was allowed by the Chargers last week, and the opportunities to get that.
For sure. I think last week first time live, getting settled in, and for a while, we got to all play cleaner. But coming into this week, we wanted to be a little more aggressive. I wanted to be a little more aggressive, play free, kind of play my style of ball within the offense, and just get it to the playmakers. If it's checking it down to Clyde, he did a great job. Valus, all those.
Yeah, a lot of check downs, but sometimes that's what it calls for. And sometimes those 3, 4, 5, 6 yards, you'll take them instead of a dead play or a sack or whatever else. So, there was some check downs there when Spencer first came in for sure. I mean, CEH, I think, had the first. In the second half, I think we ran 5 plays, and all 5 plays were through him, whether he was catching it or running it. So.
Those guys did a great job on the easy throws, and then obviously the down the field stuff. Guys made big plays today, and those are momentum changers and get you in the right position to score.
On that 2-point conversion, what did you see, and at what point did you know you were running?
Yeah.
You knew you had it. Like, what was the evolution of that play?
Yeah, they had the perfect defensive call for it. They zoned it out, passed it on. That's like a go-to 2-point play. They played it perfect, and down there you got to extend and scramble, and they kind of let me leak out and saw the edge and just hit it.
It's funny, on a couple of those like 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, 4th and 2, the 2-point conversion play, I am always an advocate for get the quarterback moving, move the pocket, have one read, play action, whatever you got to do. Obviously not play action on that, but do what you got to do, get him moving, have a read or two, and then let him go. Because if you need 1 yard or 3 yards or whatever, I'm willing to let my quarterback kind of try and get it with his feet. And Rattler flushed out perfect, extended on that play, got it. I mean, it was Christmas Day in the Dome when he got that 2-point conversion.
Play.
How about that drive overall? Interception? What were you thinking, mental-wise, heading into that final drive?
That was a funky play. I mean, we ran that play, I want to say 4 or 5 times in a row. They gave us the perfect look for the throw. Me and Tipton weren't on the same page, and we're both kind of sick about that one, because we should have hit that. But next drive, he bounces back and makes a big play. And, he's a gamer, and he's very reliable. But, yeah, they made a good play on it. It was the right look for the throw, and we made the play. Had to bounce.
There's a lot of that is preseason, a lot of that is youth, and whether it's Shough or Rattler or whoever, even Kellen Moore. I was critical of Kellen not calling the timeout on the 3rd down right before they got the penalty. I thought he should have called the timeout, and maybe he goes back and looks at that and says, okay, I should call a timeout. Other side of that coin, I was very happy to see him call a timeout at the 2:47 mark to make sure the Saints got one extra play. So things like that is what preseason's for. And there's plays like that with Tyler Shough where he'll take a sack, he'll go back and look at it on film and say, okay, I see. This is where I should, check it down, or this is where I should get rid of it, or whatever. I mean, there was a play with Rattler where it was facing, it's hard to say on the screen, but it was in the red zone, and whoever it was going to the out was wide open. And Rattler just had to beat the blitzing edge, and he couldn't beat him, and threw it right into him. Ball got swatted down or whatever. It's like one of those where, okay, it's preseason. Those reps are going to happen. You got to learn from it. You got to be better at moving forward. But that's just everybody in preseason.
Bounce back.
How much did it mean to you to be able to bounce back and get the game title the way you did?
I think it's good to finish, with whatever happens. Defense stepped up big time.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of 3 and outs, a couple turnovers today. They stepped up big time for us. And then, we can help them out by finishing more in the red zone with those opportunities. Just little silly things, just false starts, miscommunication, just things we can clean up, but they're correctable.
Yeah.
So we look at that as, okay, we can fix that and move on and be better from it. So I know we'll be ready to get back to work and get ready for this next game.
Just being in the Dome, I'll tell you the response and the vibe and whatever, tying it up was insane. Tying it up, and it changed everything. The crowd was going bananas. There's something to it. There is something to that. Finishing strong, getting the tie, doing whatever. I can't even imagine if we would have had the 1 second left and tried to win it. I mean, it would have been the Super Bowl. But people were leaving the game, and I'm telling you, they were saying, I thought this was going to be a 0-17 team. This is the first overall pick team. This is whatever. And now I think we got a chance. And not a chance to, win the Super Bowl or anything, but just a chance to be relevant, just a chance to play, compete, whatever. It's a preseason game. In the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. But just as far as fans, as far as whatever, it does matter to finish like that and to have that momentum. And the huge difference in leaving that game and doing this video and going into this week, huge difference. Leaving that game with a tie versus losing by 8.
At what point did Kellen tell
or even losing by 2. If the 2-point conversion doesn't happen, you feel totally different leaving that game than the tie.
you were going to get that last drive? Because after that interception, obviously that could have been your last drive. At what point did you know you were getting one more shot? Because I'm guessing you wanted that last shot, right?
Yeah.
I was ready to skewer Kellen Moore on a video if he would have put Jake Haener in on that last drive. Because we've been saying for a week, we're done with the Jake Haener thing. No need to see him. Let these two guys get a chance. And the game was a one-possession game. Rattler had the team rolling. The interception was unfortunate. I thought he earned it to go try and win it or try and tie it. I thought you wanted to see it because this is a quarterback competition. It would have made no sense to have Jake Haener come in there. I'm glad to see that Kellen is thinking along those same lines, and it's not just, oh, well, it's the last possession. Jake Haener has to get the last possession. Like, I'm glad he's kind of playing it by ear.
I had a feel we were going to just finish it out, but they didn't tell me anything. I just was expecting to go back in, finish the game, and that was our mindset on the offense.
Spencer, is there anything you can do when you get the look you want on a timing throw like that to stop yourself from throwing it?
I mean, it's an RPO, so you got to get the ball out quicker as lineman downfield. So, you got to put all the pieces together when you look at a play like that. But dude made a good play. We were creasing him on the runs, and then the backer triggered. You throw the slant every time. Dude played it well. He made a good play.
And when you were talking about wanting to be more aggressive and open it up, I mean, when you come out last week and then you get X amount of drives and they had, without that many big play opportunities, without many points, is it hard not to try to change your mindset and be like, I might get 4 drives today, I need to make it count, or still be willing to be patient when you're in that kind of setting?
Yeah, you want to find that balance of being aggressive but playing within the scheme. Thought we did a good job coming in, taking the easy throws, getting 6 yards a pop, getting first downs, moving the chains, and then, we got to look to throw in deep to tip, happen to be a PI. So that's another benefit of throwing it down the field. 50-50 balls, they're in your favor, and especially with a guy like Tip who can run by anybody. And love the aggression of the play calls today. Thought we were in a good rhythm. Left some out there too.
For sure. And I'm glad you mentioned the play calling. Kellen is really impressing me with how he is doing this. I mean, it's easy for us to sit here and say, oh, well, it'll be balanced out, or, oh, well, he'll rotate this way, or, oh, it'll all wash out, or, oh, he's trying to do this because of this. But to actually see that line of thinking and actually see that much detail and that much planning and it all working out where, like, a lot of people have said, well, this game was just flip-flopped with Shough and Rattler last game. That's by design. It is not on accident that the first game, Rattler starts as more of a conservative thing, whatever, and then Shough comes in and all of a sudden he has to throw it around. It's not an accident that the second game they flip and the quarterbacks get to experience the opposite. And now Shough gets to start a little more conservative, whatever, and then Rattler comes in, gets to air it out, let it rip. It's just falling right into place. And now you're going to have these two games that are mirror images of each other and perfect comparisons. And now you can look at those two games and decide which quarterback is better. I think we all know what the decision is going to be. Now, a lot of people keep saying they're not going to make a decision until after the third game. I vehemently, word of the day maybe, disagree with that. I think you're doing your team a disservice to wait until after the third preseason game to name a starter. I think you have to name a starter before that and then allow that third preseason game to be a pseudo walkthrough and then go into, okay, now you got a bye week and then the regular season starts. Everyone's on the same page versus it's still being up in flux going into that game. So I fully expect a starter to be named before the third game and the starters to play together all for a possession or two for the first time in that third game. And then, it's basically like I said, a organized walkthrough. And then you got 2 weeks. Everyone's on the same page. Everyone knows what's going on. Everyone has the same expectations. And then you rock and roll against the Cardinals.
Could have been better on a lot of that, but I thought the guys played well, and they love those big momentum plays. It gets our team going.
Same.
Spencer, you mentioned maybe Tip and Flash. You said that earlier. Is it great to see how he's been able to have the results in these last 2 games and kind of like translate what he's been doing in camp this summer?
No doubt. Last year he, got banged up before preseason, so he was hungry this year to come out and prove himself. And, you see it. He's doing his thing. We trust him. He's reliable. He's got a high motor. Doesn't really get tired, and he shows up in those big moments. I know he'll keep getting better. We'll all keep getting better, but not just him. A lot of other guys are doing a great job, and got to continue to feed all of them.
You had talked a couple of weeks ago about picking spots to run,
Yeah.
about being conscious of doing that.
it seems like in each preseason game you have found spots to run. Are you happy with that part of your game? Are you picking the right spots to actually?
You know, I thought it was interesting with the running aspect. This happened last game too. Rattler is so much more willing to run on some of these plays. I was surprised that Kellen didn't utilize the RPO or utilize Shough running a little bit more, just because, you know, if you can see him off time or he's struggling in the pass or whatever, it's not there, like, okay, maybe let him use his legs, let him kind of get comfortable that way. And that never happened. I think Shough ran it once last game. So I'm interested, and we won't know this, but I'm interested in like Shough's willingness to run and what that plan is. Maybe they're saying like, hey, you know, don't worry about that, whatever. That'll you know, happen later. But Rattler is definitely the more willing to run, and he does pick those spots pretty well. It's funny, a lot of the times like your best play and worst play are just nothing plays. But I thought one of his best plays was he escaped the pocket, was scrambling, and then he threw like this dart to Michael Jacobson across the middle, hit Jacobson in the face. He dropped it, or it was tipped or whatever. And I thought that was one hell of a play. Goes down as an incomplete pass, nothing burger on the stat sheet, but that was when it was like back-to-back plays. And then he threw one to Pettis on the 3rd and 19 or whatever, and Pettis was like 5 yards short. But it was the exact same play. He gets out of the pocket, run around, throws a dart across the field. But yeah, Rattler definitely, for being slower, because he ran whatever, like a 4.8, 4.9, Shough runs a 4.6. We saw it last year too. Like Rattler is good at picking those spots, running, showing some athleticism. So yeah, he did a good job with that today.
Run and take advantage of that?
Yeah, you know, especially, you know, when it's a tight game and you need to get first downs and not stay behind the sticks. If nothing's there, tuck it and go. You know, feel like I didn't want to take any hits today, really. I feel like I slid a little too early on one of them, but, you know, that's just good to see on tape. Probably could have got another 2-3 yards on that one, but just being decisive and hitting it when you see it and keeping that pressure off your O-line, make it easy for your play caller.
Can you get into that, like, just kind of your feel for the pass rush? I mean, there's a couple of times where like you spun out of sacks or stuff. Is that something you work on, or is that just kind of instinct on the field? Like, I don't know if you kind of describe that.
Kind of instinctual, you know. I credit that to my basketball background. You know, a little twitch here and there, but my goal this game was to stay more calm in the pocket, not get through my reads too quick, and don't be too antsy with my feet. Feel like we did a better job with that today. Again, the O-line did a great job today, I thought. You know, they protected well, and you know, when they got the hardest job on the field, so we got to get the ball out on time, first of all. But, you know, if stuff breaks down, everything's not going to be clean. You got to, you know, make something positive out of it.
Okay, what do you think of what Simpkins has done? I mean, he's somebody we didn't even see play center at the start of camp.
He's been really good. Really good. I've been very impressed with him. He's played a ton of football in 2 games. We'll see what happens with pinning and his foot, and we'll see what happens on the offensive line, but it's easier for me to say it, but I wouldn't hate to see him kick over to guard. You know, I would not hate at all if he got some rep at guard, because he's been really good, and especially for a position like center, very difficult for a rookie to jump in there, be as good as he's been. I like him.
Yeah, I mean, he's a South Carolina guy. What do you expect, man? Great
true.
player, very reliable, smart, tough. You know, whatever his task is to do, he's going to do it 100%, 110%. And, you know, that was big time for him. And then Kyle Hergel coming in the 2-minute drive, doing a great job as well. So, yeah, all those guys, no matter how many reps they get, they show up.
What
have you done better this year yourself, individually?
Mm-hmm. I just think, you know, I still got a long way to go, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's only been, you know, basically 2 halves, not even really. I mean, it's only been, it's way too early for that kind of talk. Like, you know, he's still developing, everyone's still developing. They're still trying to, you know, get things right, get things efficient. That's a question for, you know, mid-season.
I'm nowhere near where I want to be. As a group, we got a long way to go.
Yeah.
Still got a couple weeks to get right.
Yeah,
but just feel a little more comfortable, you know, schematic-wise. I like this system a lot. You know, still got to, narrow down the details. A few mentals out there, but it's going to happen in the preseason. But just getting more comfortable and comfortable. Working that pocket and seeing the defense and taking what they give you.
I don't think we've asked you about the touchdown pass to Pettis. What did you see?
Oh yeah, no, he ran a great route. I love the play call. If it was in bounds, we'd have to.
Smart play call, right? Throw to the sidelines. You understand the situation. You understand the down and distance. You understand the time. No timeouts. 30-second on the clock. Okay, let's try and push the ball a little bit. Play to the sideline where he could get out of bounds if he's short. If not, they probably were told, hurry up to the line. Here's the next play. A lot of the time in those situations, you'll get 2 plays. So, and then, Pettis made a great play after the catch.
Get up and take a shot at the end zone, but I mean, he routed him at the top and anticipated it, put on the sideline, and he did a great job staying up and getting in.
Did Spencer transfer in after you left, or did you guys overlap at all?
He came after I left, yeah.
Kellen said the locker room felt like a win at the end of it. Describe at the end of it. Look, it's a tie in the preseason. But describe the locker room after this.
Yeah, I mean, I think just the way we finished was exciting. To get it feels like we do those situations in practice so much with the 2-minute drills, end of game. Got to have it tight moments, and to bring it to life out there on the field, especially in the dome, was fun. I thought we had 1 second left to kick the field goal and win it, but it's preseason. I get it, but it was a good, energetic finish to the game.
Like I said 20 minutes ago, do not think that just because it's preseason, it doesn't matter. The locker room felt like a win. The stadium felt like a win. These guys have heard for over a year. They're a 32nd team. They suck. They're going to be the first overall pick. Worst in the NFC South. Worst team. I mean, Shannon Sharpe was just saying last week that Spencer Rattler was going to get Kellen Moore fired. I can guarantee you these players are very aware of that. They are very aware that every single ranking that's come out in the last 3 months has the Saints as the 32nd team. So when that's happening and you're also losing and you're also struggling, it's just feeding that. It's just feeding that beast. So to push back against that, even in this situation where it ends up being a tie, it feels like, okay, all right, we got something. We got something, right? You got to see a win, feel some success, feel something positive versus everything that's been relatively negative over the last couple months.
And despite it being the tie, just can you speak to carrying this momentum into Saturday?
Yeah, just got to keep building. Don't look too far ahead. Take it day by day. Broncos are a great team. They're going to be really good. So we got to have a good game plan, go in, and just execute.
That's another thing too. Keep getting better. You want to be better in the second game than the first game. You want to be better in the third game than the second game. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a fun ride, man. If the season's anything like today, it's going to be an absolute blast. All right, ladies and gentlemen, get in the comments below. Let me know what you thought, and I will see you in the next video.